I'm with Paul Sachs from North Country Organics. He has been supporting and with ELA since the beginning, which is what, how many years ago?
That's beyond
15.
my memory banks.
It's a long time.
It's been a long time. I remember when originally the organization was going to be called NOLPA. And I had dinner with Mike Talbot the night before the first.
Oh my God, that's a long time ago.
The first conference, and I discussed with him the name, and I suggested Ecological Landscape Association would be a better name because ecology is really what it's about.
That's great.
And that's how it happened, and I don't take credit for it because I think it caused a big row between Mike Talbot and a few other people, but yeah.
Oh, that's great.
I have been with you guys for a while.
That's great, but that's actually, the name has really held itself for a long time, so that was a really good choice that they made, to be honest with you. So
yeah, I think so. A lot easier to say than NOLPA.
Nope, yeah, that's a little complex. But also, I think where everything is going now, it just makes so much more sense. I mean, ecological land, you know, that whole thing.
Right.
So tell me, what do you, first of all, are you going to be going to any lectures today?
I haven't looked at the list, but I suspect I will. I know that Eric Fleischer's here.
Yeah.
And I enjoy listening to him. I listened to him in Long Island last week.
Oh, he talks, he's from Battery Park, right? He's done the Battery Park work,
and he
right?
worked with Harvard, too.
Yeah, I'm interested in going to his talk, too. And
they use our stuff in both places, so that always makes me interested, you know.
Yeah, so tell me a little bit about your organization and maybe some of the things that you are sort of excited about, where this whole kind of business is going, and, you know, what are you looking forward to? Because you've been hauling this sort of stuff for a long time, but...
Yeah. Well, I started this business in 1983, so it's been 27 years.
Wow.
It's been kind of a long haul. And it's had its trials and tribulations. It took a very, very long time for it to actually amount to something. But, you know, I think I was prematurely engaged in organics before the rest of the world took on the mindset that organics was a better way to go.
Well, you're an early adopter.
I am, yes. And but you know, if you've ever read anything by Malcolm Gladwell, you know, the Outliers.
Yeah, yeah.
He says you got to have 10,000 hours of experience and then be there at the right time.
Exactly.
You know, to be. So I have the 10,000 hours of experience. And,
that's great.
And hopefully, if everything's catching on now,
yeah.
You know, and I'm in the right place, but I don't really care personally about becoming huge and rich and famous. That's not my goal. So.
Well, I think to get in that early, probably that wouldn't be your first goal. But do you? I mean, you see a tipping point. Talking about Malcolm Gladwell wrote the book Tipping Point.
I know. I haven't read that one.
Oh, it's probably one of the best business books. But it just talks about how all of a sudden something changes, and it feels like overnight. And
exactly.
So, do you feel that we're at a tipping point, that things have changed? I mean, do you see that?
Actually, no. The organic movement has had somewhat organic growth. I mean, somewhat like a plant would grow. It's been slow and steady.
Yeah.
And but it's reached the point where you know it's grown above the canopy now, and you can actually see it. A lot of people are taking note, and they're noticing, wow, what's this?
Yeah.
And they're also noting that a lot of the conventional information that they've been dealing with for decades hasn't been that good, and so they're just.
So they're making the shift. People are making the shift.
Yeah.
And so what's your take on whether we'll ever in this lifetime see us get rid of pesticides? What do you think?
In my lifetime?
Yeah.
Or yours?
Yeah, you know, in both of our lifetimes. What do you think? It's a hard...
I think it's possible. Even in my lifetime, I think it's possible. I look at places like...
Are you in New Hampshire?
No, in Vermont.
Oh, you're in Vermont. Yeah, because New Hampshire had a big thing last week.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did, yeah. I look at places like Hudson, Quebec, where it was a David and Goliath story, where they banned aesthetic herbicides, aesthetic pesticides from everywhere.
I grew up in Montreal, so Hudson is just exactly.
Yeah. Well, it was a David and Goliath story.
It was. Yeah.
A small community took on the big, powerful chemical companies and won.
I know that's.
And so now. what's happening is a lot of other Canadian towns and provinces are saying, well, if the Supreme Court of Canada says that Hudson can do this, then nobody's going to fight us, and we're going to do it too.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of Canada is starting to
switch over.
They're starting to pass ordinances to ban pesticides.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think it's a good thing. I think in this country, the chemical company is looking very closely at that, and they're passing laws that will not allow states to supersede federal rule. And so they've done it in, I think, 42 states.
Mm-hmm.
They've passed laws that will not allow the state to supersede the federal law. So if the FDA, not the FDA, but the EPA says that this pesticide is okay to market, then a state cannot ban it.
Oh.
But I think there's 8 states that haven't gone that way. I know Vermont's one of them.
Oh.
But,
well, we're crossing our fingers, Paul, and I hope it's in your lifetime.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for all your hard work. I know it's been a big educational journey, too, so it's really all about educating people. So,
Yeah.
Well, have a great show.
Thank you.
And thanks so much for supporting ELA.